communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Hello viewers from America, some part good morning, good afternoon, and some part of world good evening, also some part of world good night right now. Viewers, this is Tofader from Millennium News 24/7, our United States studio. We are welcoming today our good friend, our network Goldfinger, and one of the great lady and great woman for community. She working hard for our American community and also globally. Leslie Carroll. Both of welcome our network. Please introduce yourself. Carroll.
I'm Leslie Carroll, and I'm an intactivist. And I have a bit of a Southern accent because I grew up and everything from the South, but I've been up in New York now, upstate New York, for 30 some years. So, but I still have my Southern accent. So that's why, if you notice that, you'll understand why I'm in New York with a Southern accent. So I'm basically retired, but I do intactivism, just trying to inform people about innocent babies being forced into circumcision.
Very
Intactivism
good.
is a play on words. It's we call a whole person intact or whole or natural, because there's really no such thing as uncircumcised. That's like whatever. It's just, you just can't say that. So that's why we say intactivism, intactivist, and now I'm an intactivist.
Okay, very good. Mr. Todd Goldfinger, introduce yourself. Our viewers, please.
Sure. Thank you, Noor. Thank you for having me on the show. Okay, so intactivism, what is that? For me, I feel like I'm intact, maybe through recovery, through mental health recovery. I feel more intact than I've ever been. And so, yes, guilty as charged. I am a circumcised person, but you wouldn't know it just by looking at me. No, it's a joke. Anyway, the point of the story is this. To each his own, to each their own. Nowadays, gender is such a big topic. People don't know if they're he, she, maybe there's something in between. Maybe they think there's a spectrum of he to she or everything in between. Who knows? But I feel like a man. And I feel fully intact, and I'm happy with what I have. So I just want to say that Todd David Goldfinger is my name. Check out my website for more information. Thanks.
Very
Great to be
good.
here.
Very good. Uh, Leslie, how you work, how you try to work, or you working right now with young kids globally or citywide or statewide? And what is
Yeah.
your viewpoint?
Well, what we try and do is educate parents, new parents and whatnot, about how bad infant circumcision is. And all we ask is like what Todd said, each person to their own. Well, we think that the personal choice of circumcision should be left to the grown adult person, whether it's male or female. And Todd was talking about intersex people. Some people are born and they have genitals that are a little bit male and a little bit female. And it has been in the past that doctors would remove parts of that, which, you know, they don't even leave it up to the person who owns the genitals, whether they feel more male or female or whatever.
That's right. You know, so many state we have a lot of issue, and abortion issue and delivery issue, also a lot of underage getting these days in America as a parents. They are already kids, 12 years, 13 years or 14 years. They are already mother or father. How you gonna taking care of these things? How you gonna stop these things? Leslie?
Well, we just try and educate. There's very good websites. Your Whole Baby is a wealth of information for young people before they have babies or while they're pregnant or anything. They can learn all about infant circumcision and routine circumcision. This is one of the few countries in the world that does routine infant circumcision on newborn babies for no reason whatsoever. There's no medicine involved in circumcision. There's absolutely no medical diagnosis or prognosis or anything. It's cosmetic surgery that's life-changing.
You know, you are right, but our society, our community, they are not working like that. They are misusing their body, they are misusing their sex life, they are misusing our communication, or as a human, like a man or woman, whatever is it, they have to respect their body. Otherwise, it's not going to be, control anything. What do you think?
Well, in 1997, female genital mutilation was made illegal in this country. And there's the amendment, I can't remember right now what number it is, but the amendment in the Constitution says that all laws have to be leveled without regards to race, sexuality, or blah, 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 on down the thing. And when little boys are sexually mutilated, genitally mutilated, they aren't able to make their own decision about their own bodies. And we think that's the worst. I mean, we want, and the part about abortion, it's like people are, they want the babies, they want the babies, they want the babies. And the minute the baby comes out, they start cutting parts off of the little baby's body. And we just think that that's very, very wrong.
That's right. Mr. Goldfinger, tell us how our society, community, or country or city gonna stop this kind of abuse our own self, like our body.
We have to be a good example somehow, and I believe that it takes many faiths, many paths to create the best world possible. And with everyone working together, to try to make the world a better place, and I think that's what this network is pretty much about. We get to hear different voices. Maybe we don't have to agree with everybody, but we know that we're all pretty much coming from the same place,
Listen, you are mental health activist. This is one kind of sickness underage young children before 18. They get 2-3 child their own self. How are you going to stop? Community, school, and society have to be work together. This is also one kind of mental health issue. Myself, I know that. So how we can stop our city mayor or borough president or assembly person or Congress? What they have to do? What their job?
We need to voice our complaints. We need to all be very vocal. And there's a saying that I learned when I was in the clinic one time. They said, one good takeaway from it was, closed mouths don't get fed. And by using our voices, and the people that don't have voices got us. We're doing TV. So, we're speaking for you. We're going to go to bat and we're going to say, look, the system is obviously very, very broken, not so good, and no bueno, as they say, especially in the state of New York. We know that. That's a given. So the point of the story is we have platforms like this to speak about it, to, let's say, when we expose the problem, the roots basically, shrivel up and, fade away. Anyway, so the point is we need to be doing something good for nature, because nature brought us into this world. And for me, that's really who my parents are. I mean, yes, my earth parents are very wonderful, and you can see them on the walls, the portraits. But, let's say that nature, at the end of the day, I look out the window, I see, almost like, I feel the communion with nature. And because of this, it keeps me on the right path. And that's why my mental health mission is so strong, because I know that the people here on planet Earth need the help the most. We don't need to go to Mars. I don't need to go to Mars. I don't need to go to Mars. And I don't need to go anywhere else but here to help people, to talk it out, to speak it out, work it out. Let's talk about it. Mental health, of course mental health matters. No kidding, it matters, of course. It affects every person on the face of the planet, whether it's them personally or someone they love, someone they know. It affects everybody on this planet Earth. So mental health most certainly does matter. Thank you.
Most welcome. Leslie, before cell phone come this world, before internet came, so many countries like South America, Middle America, also Caribbean, Southeast Asia, Africa, underage children, they get married. Their parents give them married, like 9 years old, 10 years old, or 12 years old. But these things almost stop when internet came this earth. People is learning day by day, but still they are abusing the parenthood power. So many religious countries. How we can stop these things? Leslie.
Well, I don't know. Just all we know to do is educate people about infant circumcision, and I don't know. I mean, I feel like that infant circumcision is like the scourge of the human race that hasn't been its barbaric ritual that we just don't do
Barbaric
it anymore. We're
ritual? You're
civilized.
calling something very, for some people, very holy, a barbaric ritual, Leslie Carroll. You realize that, right?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
that's what
Just
it is.
preface it, because before you call it a barbaric act, to some people, it's very holy and something that means a lot to the family, so they do that. Now, look, the men, their faces turn white, they get green, they feel sick when this happens. Of course, it's a horrible thing. But when it does happen, I'm so happy they did it. So thank you, Dad. Thank you, family. Thank you, everybody, for snipping me, because I'm happy. I'm a happy guy. What can I say?
You
Happy
know,
guy, you know,
Todd, these days, if end of the world, if people did something wrong, like a dispute, husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, or if they doing any kind of harm, we can know by the second, by Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. These days people cannot harm, people cannot do anything wrong, everything is flash within second. But in America, our society, our community, our children, still they do not understood how they can control their own self. School going, like a 12 years or 13 years or 14 years old kids, they are already father and mother. How we can stop these things? Todd?
Planned Parenthood. 2 words, Planned Parenthood, I think is a great organization that I would love to research, find out more about, and interview them, and maybe even bring them on the show if you'd like.
But school have to do something. They have to teach the young kids. School is not doing anything. They're showing how to do the sex, but how to control, how to abuse. They cannot abuse their own self. But school have to be teaching good things. What do you guys think?
Teaching safe sex, I think, is very important because the kids are having sex before you even think they are, and it's ridiculous. So, to educate, I think you have to tell your kids, about condoms and contraception, because if you don't, they might be doing the wrong thing because they're not guided by the parents. They're being guided by society and whatever they see on TV. And who needs that? So the parents have to be doing their jobs always. Now in the schools, yes, schools have to teach it, but you know what? Parents don't want to teach their kids about sex. I get it. I get that. But you know what? At the end of the day, it has to be a partnership between the schools and the parents to approach this subject because they're already doing it.
In China used to be one children. You can take one children and you can marry or get girlfriend after 18 years old. Not before, after 18 years. But in America, we don't have any rule regulation. We do not have a respect. We don't have anything. Our federal government, state government, city government, they are doing nothing. And these kids, they are get uneducated. And they stop study. They are homeless. They are jobless. And they're going to be welfare. How our country, our society, we can stop these things? You guys have any kind of plan? Leslie?
To stop. Well, I mean, as far as the young people go, I'm not concerned that much with, as far as mental health goes, circumcision, the pain and agony and torture of circumcision is imprinted on these children's brains for the rest of their lives. And some people in deep therapy have come up with fear. A lot of men don't like to go to hospitals because of that. They remember that, what happened to them in the hospital, whether they were conscious or not. And children and people remember it. Some people do remember it. And they go, so that's one reason why I would like to see it stop, so everybody can have their whole bodies all their life and not have to. I mean, Todd is lucky that he loves what he has and how his life has turned out. Some men are very, 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 very mad that the decision was taken away from them and that it was forced on them when they were an infant. And like I said, in deep therapy, some of them recall the trauma of it all, and it's imprinted on the brains.
That's right.
Some people might say that those are the men that fight more.
That's true. Viewers and our friends, please stay with us. We are going to short break and we're going to come back very soon.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Viewers, we are come back again. Today's America and News 24/7. Viewers, globally, we have a lot of issue with our children, underage children getting father and mother. And these days in the world, so many ways to do the safe sex. But our kids, they do not understood. So today we have one mental health activist, Mr. Todd Goldfinger, and another friend in our network is Leslie Carroll. She is working with young kids and young babies' life. So many misused, so many people abuse. So we are talking about our life, our kids' life. Please take care your underage teenage kids. They cannot be parents underage, have to be over 18 or 20. So many countries in the world, so-called Middle Eastern world and some part of Southeast Asia, people cannot marry these days. They have to be age 18 or older than 18, over 20. But some part of world like Japan, South Korea and United States of America, not even our next door Canada, we have so much issue. Our teenage parents, they are already teenage, they are young, but they are parents. They cannot take care of their babies. And those babies going to the shelter, children shelter, or someone have to be go foster care. So this is not easy life with the babies. How we can stop these things? This is the voice we have today. Viewers, right now I'm going to ask my friend Leslie Carroll, do you have any option in our society, our community, our city, our country, stop this kind of horrible act, abuse our underage children and babies? Do you have any idea, Leslie?
Well, people should realize that it's a human rights violation, and it's in this country.
It's against the Constitution, like I said about the amendment. And I'm sorry, I've lost my train of thought.
Go ahead, it's no problem. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. It's a human rights violation, and it's also the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that the United Nations produced in 1948, which Eleanor Roosevelt worked on, says that a person should be able to be born and have, it's like in Africa where people binding feet in ancient China, and in some places in Africa they still put scars on people's faces when they are really young. They start doing it. And you've seen the places where they put the dishes in the lips and this, that, and the other, and that's okay, but we just say that it shouldn't be done to children. You should wait until the person is grown. They have a right to be born and die with their whole bodies without markings or tattoos or piercings or anything else that adults do to the children.
This world, so many still, there are so many crazy stuff going on in the religious world. So-called Hindus and Buddhists, they want like a baby boy. They don't want baby girl. If they born baby girl, they throw out. They did lot of torture with the family. So how, this is another kind. How we can stop these things?
Well, in the United States, one thing would be it's $1 billion business for the medical people. The doctor gets paid for doing the circumcision. The tissue is put into the biotechnic where they make.
I understood what you try to say. Siemens. They're going to transfer and they're going to make the baby boy. This is, if someone is wealthy, someone have a lot of money, they can do it. It's cost over $10,000 or $15,000. It's not easy though.
To get a circumcision?
Yes. So many.
No, it doesn't cost that much.
So many people they do, but it's not easy. But these days, so many. Just I am talking part of India. India is huge country. They have a multi-religious. All religious is there, but one religious is torturing their housewife, like Hindus, Buddhist. If they thinking they have a boy is coming in this earth, baby boy. When they see, no, it's not a baby boy, baby girl. Sometimes they throw out. This is like crazy stuff. Who make these babies? God, Allah. We are not making the babies. you know. So how we can stop these things? Mr. Todd?
Well, in the Jewish faith, I was circumcised by a mohel. You know, this is a tradition. This is a rich tradition, just like everybody's tradition is very rich. So it needs to be respected. And for me, I don't feel traumatized. They put a little cotton swab with maybe some
Listen,
gum
they
on
are
it, put it in
they are
my mouth.
misusing
I
the
feel okay. I feel okay.
they are misusing the ladies like a wife. They are misusing so much torture, mental health and emotional, you know. So government have to be step up. If government is not doing anything, those girls sometimes die, sometimes they killed those world, you know. But Indian government is not doing anything. So-called human rights and Amnesty International and so-called UN, this is another drama. They are not doing anything for as a human. So how we can do ourselves, how we can work together to build people mental sickness, take care the mental sickness. How we can do that? Leslie.
Network. Oh, sorry.
Well, we need a whole lot better, especially mental health care in this country. Is the medical system in this country is capitalistic, and so you have to have loads and loads of money to even get mental health, and they still charge like co-pays and whatnot like that for a simple therapy session. And
Really?
it's very, very difficult to get help in this country. In my opinion, that's
You know,
just my opinion.
the mental health issue, not only America, you know, we have a society, we have a doctors, we have a nurse, we have a all kind of things. That's why we know we have a mental health issue. But some part of the world, they don't have anything. And they are doing this kind of horrible crime, horrible act. This is governmental issue. Government have to be come over, step up. Otherwise, you know, the young babies is dying. They throw out in the garbage. They throw out on the, you know, underneath sewerage. This is bad things happening. This is
Well, they do that in China because the boy is supposed to take care of the parents. So if they don't have a girl, they have nobody to take care of them in their ancient age. And the girls go off, when they get married, they go off to the husband's family. And the boy is the only thing. That's why they don't value girls in India and China and places like that, from old tradition of the boy son taking care of the parents.
you know, this is bad things. These days, boy and girl, they working side by side. And these days, so many family, so many place, so many countries also. Girl take care everything. Girl is strong, better than man. But people have to be learn and teach. Without learning, without teaching, without knowing anything. So how the girl gonna take care of the parents? Mr. Todd?
How is the girl going to take care of the parents? The girl always takes care of the parents, especially in America, in the American tradition. Nowadays, the mother is putting, the woman is putting the parents into the assisted living facility, or, you know, finding them a place, a room in the house, or, you know, something like this. Nowadays, we are finding new ways through COVID. The horrors of COVID have taught us at least something good, which is to be there for each
you
other,
know,
look within. Yeah.
Sorry to interfere you. In our America, North America, we do not take care of our parents. You know, we do not respect,
Not very
honor,
well.
and love them. This is bad things happening our North America, Canada, and also USA. Reason is ourself. We are selfish. Our government is business on business. Government take care the what is the call senior center, you know, and we throw out our parents from house to senior center. They build the house, they take care the house, they did everything for us. But what we did, we throw out to government. Now government, state, city, they making money. They are doing business with our elderly, our father, mother, you know, our uncle, auntie. Yeah, this is so bad. How you can stop these things? How you can stop this kind of business? Leslie?
Well, I'm not real sure. I mean, we should take care of our elderly citizens. I mean, that's what I do on a part-time basis. Is although I get paid for it, but I like doing things for older people just because of what you said. They've taken care of their children and raised them and done everything, and they deserve a nice senior citizen life, in my opinion, after they've worked and whatnot like that. And our government seems to, I mean, they started taxing Social Security, and, you know, they just seem to make it worse and worse for seniors.
You are 100% right. You know, what is the deal? We are working round the clock right now. You know, we have a lot of social security, return, you know, retirement, so many things. Those money have to be stay in the house. What is the government do? Government take care the person, senior person, elderly person, and they get benefit, all kind of things they take over. So person is limbo. So this is bad things our world. What do you think, Mr. Todd?
I think we need to build a network so that we can then show them there are other ways, there are other modalities. We need to have a paradigm shift. I think everybody would agree on that. Left, right, center, progressive, everything you can think of would probably agree that we all need to have a paradigm shift. And hopefully that's going to be coming very soon for all of us. 2022, it's going to be a great year.
You are 100% right, both of you. These days, in America, anywhere in the world, all of the world, we misuse our power. We misuse our work. You know, the elderly person over 65 or over 75, when you go to the over 70s or 80s, people very tough to walk around and taking care. But same thing is babies. Why we are disrespect ourselves? Why we are disrespect our power? You know, so have to be rule regulation, have to be respect, love and happiness. Otherwise, you know, our young kids, boy or girl, does not matter. They are babies. We are misuse it. Not only America, whole of the world. Same thing, senior center, senior people, these days, everywhere in the world, not only America. America started people, country learning. You know, used to be Muslim world, they don't have this kind of senior center. The parents or child, they have a good relation. They are taking care their parents. But these days, so many country, now they send their kids, their parents to senior center. So government take care, state take care, city take care. This is so bad. Have to be stopped. Have to be family life. Have to be respect as a human. Otherwise, we destroy our race, culture, religious, and also human rights. Guys, we are going to short break. Please stay with us. Bye. Probably technical issue, you know, that's okay. The person try to help, but he can't. We are go back to again. Todd, our these days, your community, my community, everywhere we have a mental health issue. Government, state, city is not doing anything. How we can do something for our community, our society, our city? What is our job? Go ahead, Todd.
Okay, so the first thing to do is to make sure that you are well taken care of, the individual. I mean, in America, there should be enough resources for us to do what we need to do to find a good therapist, to find a doctor, a primary care physician, and to be covered by, well, for me, I'm covered. I don't know if I can, I'm not going to say who I'm covered by, but basically, I'm covered. I don't have an income. I'm a volunteer. I work as a volunteer, as a consultant. I help people. I help people I care about, people that I think are great. I will promote them. I will help produce them. I'll help whatever I can do. That's what I can do because my cup runneth over. So that's the way a person can help in their community. They can help others, especially when they feel good themselves. It's easier to help others because if you're not feeling good yourself, let's say it's a mental health issue, depression, PTSD, all sorts of things. And of course, the veterans community, which we have to definitely touch upon in a big way as well, is that, everybody is affected, especially, I can speak only for being here in America right now. I've lived in Europe for over 10 years, but here I am in the US, so I can talk about the US today and say the system here, it kind of stinks. It was better in Germany with healthcare. And they should look at the modalities, especially in Germany, especially for preventative care. Check that out because it's not all about profits. It's actually for the people. And, say for the people, well, that must be communism. No, 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 sorry. That's not communism. That's just called being a human being. And so that's where I'm at. A humanistic Jewish person, sure, why not? If I had to fit into a category.
You are getting party line. Communism, Democrat Republic, independence. We don't care. We care our community. We care our society. We care our family. What about the communism? What about the Democrat independence? We don't care these things. They are not working for us. They are not working for our community. So many people every single day die by fentanyl. So many misusing drug. So many way. Our government doing nothing. Democrat Republic and so-called communism doing nothing. They just say, oh, what are we going to do? But what is their job? Why we are send them White House, Congress, Senate, State Assembly, Mayor, Borough President? What is their job, man?
No, I can tell you right now if you want to hear it.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, sure, okay. Basically what happened now is that there's a lot of people with a lot of money, a lot of power, a lot of influence, and then there's the elitist class, this 1%, which is like, they say it's the most rich, but, it's also people that have Ivy League degrees and things like that. So this is what we're up against, is people who think they're smarter than the general public or the consumer. So they'll up the prices like these, like this guy on Wall Street who was upping the price of I don't know what it was for like a ridiculous amount of money, and he was just doing it because he thought that people were so stupid and that he could do that. He could do something so stupid and evil. And yes, this drug czar guy was, let's say, quote unquote, taken down, and cancel culture canceled him. But who's next? Because the point of the story is I'm a smart guy. I can think like them. But you know what the difference is? I've committed myself to doing the right thing. And I think that's where herein lies for everybody to do the right thing is the best thing you could do for humanity in this country or any country on this great earth. So thank you. Thank you.
Very good, very good. Leslie, our school system, education system, like middle school, high school, our government have to give the hand. Like, their educated, they have to give the education for sex life. Otherwise, these babies getting their study
Well, they've
destroyed.
also found they've found that when birth control is available, that teen pregnancies, unwanted pregnancies, go down tremendously, and that's what we need. Is I mean, never mind that these kids, kids are going to. Sexuality is a human trait, and there's no way that you can just preach abstinence and expect that to be good birth control.
Education system, they are not teaching probably for birth control. So many, I don't want to say the color is going to be race issue. So many Latino family, they have the person already 13 or 14 years old or 15, they have 6-7 kids, one like that, and they getting lot of food stamp, lot of taxpayer money, lot of things from the government. Some family, they doing this kind of horrible job too. So how our government going to be stopped? How they going to teach them birth control? What is their job? What is our society job? You guys have
Well, a
any
lot of
idea?
them are Catholic,
Huh?
and a lot of them are Catholic, and so they don't really believe in birth control. That's a bit of an issue, and well, I think people should only have 2 children, 1 or 2, and that's it, because we've got plenty of people in this world, and we don't need.
Sorry to interfere you. Now is
That's
not
okay.
a 80s or 70s or 60s or 40s. Used to be one person, one family, they have over 10 people. Like my father, my mother, they have 13 children. They have 13 children. My family. Now myself, I have 2. Everyone is learned. This is not a world we're going to bring the children and we're not going to give them education. We're not going to give them food. We're not going to give them good learning. This is not a human rights, human being. What is our government doing over here? What is their job?
Well, they need to, I mean, especially with the pandemic, but even before that, our schools, you have to educate. We have to educate our young people so that we can compete in the world when they grow up. You don't know where the next smart person or the person that invents this, that, and the other is going to come from. And that's why every child needs to have a decent education. And the government needs to, if it's a bad school, they need to put more money into it and make it up to par and teach all of the children and have education for everybody. And it's really gonna be bad when because they've lost out on so much in the pandemic and not schooling and doing virtual schooling and whatnot like that. We're going to have to really catch up in the education system, or we're going to be way far behind the rest of the world.
We already are.
You are right, but our parents in America, so many family is uneducated. Reason, their life they already destroy. They marry underage. Their time is underage time, they may get married. And they have a children, they going to school, same thing, generation to generation. No learning, no education, no good care. The children going to school is not taking care of anything. They are not teaching anything, good things, bad things of both sides. Also, they do not share birth control, nothing. So, school system have to be strong. Our government, city, state, federal have to be strong. Our government probably is not doing nothing. If they do, probably is work. Otherwise, we destroy ourselves. What do you think, Leslie?
Well, you're right. We have to educate our young people all along, and we need to do something about the debt that college students are in when they graduate from college. And that's no way to start in life, is to be in debt tens of thousands of dollars that you have to pay back. I know some of it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know how in the world somebody's supposed to even pay that off in a lifetime. It's just so much. And,
I pay myself 140,000.
right, there you go, 100, yeah.
You know?
It's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. So federal government, they are money hunger, and they get so many corporations to make money. But our
Well,
government,
they give the corporations and the rich people breaks, and then
Yeah.
the poor people that are working are the ones that have to pay for everything, like taxing the Social Security. Now, come on, anybody on Social Security can't afford to pay taxes.
if you go so-called third world countries, India, Bangladesh, China, they don't have this kind of system. They have a better system to teach young kids, high school, college, university. But over here, it's too expensive education life. Too expensive. That's why we are the student. Who is the student? They are destroy, working for house, working for kids, working for the food, working for the federal government. So this is our lovely life in America. Mr. Todd.
Yes.
We know all the things that are wrong with it.
Yeah.
Besides the education system in America stinks, besides that, which we already know, that's common knowledge, but nobody does anything about it. And homeschooling your kids, is that the way to go? I mean, how do you do it nowadays? When I went to school, it was for me like a terrible experience. I mean, after my father died, they were blowing up my mailbox and calling my house and saying they were going to kill my dog. But anyway, that was a different time. They're using the internet to bully people. So, point of the story is this: the education system was very bad back then. I didn't really learn very much. I played music most of the time. I taught myself music. Sat in my room, worked on listening to the entire Iron Maiden catalog by ear.
Mr.
But
Todd,
enough about that.
You
Right.
travel worldwide. You
Right.
have a open eyes. You saw the European countries, African countries, and Asian countries. So how they are teaching their children, and what kind of teaching we do over here.
We have so much to learn from other cultures that the American way is not doing it anymore. We've burnt it out, and we should also be looking at what the natives of this land, what they were doing, and some of their traditions were, because some of the plant medicines they were doing, Mr. Nixon did a very bad thing with the war on drugs, let me tell you, because it didn't stop after that. We had Reagan war on drugs and all that stuff, and now it's finally coming to an end because the psychedelic revolution is coming. I just want to let everybody know that. So thank you. Help is on the way. Help is on the way.
We always hope help is on the way, but our governmental system, federalism system, state, city, they have to be work together for education system. Our federal government doing nothing for our children, our brother, sister, ourselves. They just thinking about destroy the world. How they can fight with the Russia, how they can fight with Ukraine, they can destroy the Middle East. This is their theme. We have a CIA, we have a FBI. They are destroy the country. You know, they are only person destroy the country, but we don't have a voice. If we have a voice, our government, our Senate, our Congress, they have to do right things for us, but they don't. What are you guys thinking about it? Leslie?
Well, I think they're trying. I just heard that the child credit that they sent out to the poorest of the poor during the pandemic lifted half of the children that are in poverty out of poverty so they could get food and eat. So, but that ended. So, and if the kids aren't in school, lots of times they don't get their breakfast or lunch. And I saw where one woman in North Carolina was packing up all kinds of bags of stuff for children over the winter break for them to take a bag of groceries home so they have food to eat. So little by little, I mean, things happen, but it's very little, and sometimes
everywhere they do the business. Like they hire the contractor, supply the food on the education system, lunch and breakfast. What they do? They bring worse food. They do not bring nutrition food. They do not give any good things in the children. This is bad things for our education system. Education system destroyed by city mayor, city school chancellor, also state education secretary, also federal. They are not working together. They don't watch what is going on, what we are doing for our kids, our children, our grandchildren. They don't care.
we
Mr.
should have
Todd,
the best
go
education
ahead.
system in the world.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Leslie.
plant-based food, better meals in the schools. It starts with good meals so that the kids actually want to go to school and actually have the meal, and be with their friends and talk with their friends. And, hopefully everybody's safe nowadays because of COVID, and that they're, doing the regulations as they're supposed to. Look, at least I think, from what I understand, people with children, it's good for them to be in the schools because that's how they socialize. That's how they get to know each other, and they build lifelong bonds, maybe, that they develop themselves. These are the formative years, so they need to be with their peers, not just their parents. So being with their peers, being with their friends is very important. Now that happens in teenage years. Of course, 12, 13, they want to be with their friends more than with their parents. Understand that, get out of the kids' way, and have a good time, pay for the college if you can, if it's not too much. I mean, when I went to college, it was $2,000 a semester. Now it's $8,000.
Thank you. Leslie, our time almost end. Please say something, last word.
Well, I wish everybody, there's an excellent video out there on YouTube that's The Elephant in the Hospital. Is very, very good. It's got all the information that I'm just barely, hitting on, but it's got it's a professor from Georgetown University that does it's a lecture. And I wish everybody would watch that, An Elephant in the Hospital.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Todd, last word, please.
I love everybody. I think Millennium TV 24/7 is great. Leslie, Carroll is a great friend. It's great to be on this show, and thank you for for having us, Noor. I love this.
Yes,
I love your
thank you.
network. I love the show, and thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank
on
you,
your
guys.
show. Thank you.
Thank you. Please stay with us, viewers, for this show, Today's America, and for today. Please watch Millennium News 24/7, Today's America. We are in all iOS and Android device. Also, we are on all smart TVs, Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, all kinds of smart TVs. Viewers, we are also other platform called Amazon Fire Stick, Roku Stick, and Apple TV. Also, we are on globally Jago BD and Radiant IPTV, Sky TV, and Sky Boxes, whole Europe, and also and Radiant and Jadu TV. Viewers, our all social network address Millennium News 24/7, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Also, we are on YouTube, news channel M24. Our website millenniumnews24.com and millenniumtv24.com, and our email address news@millenniumnews24.com. Viewers, our colleague, friends, and our technician, engineer, everyone working round the clock for only for you. News, views, talk show, documentary, so many things. Please watch Millennium News 24/7. Whatever you are, please stay, peace, love, and happiness. Goodbye and take care for today.